So did you, how did you prepare for your role as Hitler?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tales of the Lich. Today, we are actually starting a little mini campaign. Uh, Today, joining us, we have three people, all of them returning from the last one shot. We have Lady Knight, we have the Tone One, and we have Justin. We'll be meeting their characters in just a second. This campaign is taking place again in Brazil, but this time looking at the Freeman and kind of what's going on there and what they're investigating. The three of them have all found themselves stuck with these weird tribesmen who live in these roaming cities, most of them controlled by some form of necromantic magic or some sort of engineering feats, depending on who they go. Currently, it is the middle of winter. The frozen lakes above Ithil have frozen over. The battle mages are up there battling, and the freemen have all moved south to avoid these cold winters and meet during Stella Solace, this once-a-year meeting where all of the great cities meet together in the dead of this desert, exchange information, make plans for the coming year, and go from there. That being said, Lady Knight, who are you playing today, and what are you up to?
I am currently playing a Warforge named. I have a big metal plate covering my face. Most of my body is sinewy cables covered by leather flesh and plates of metal. My character.
Question: how do you spell your name?
I don't spell it. Not the way you would. You can only spell it if you know machine speak. So yeah, suffer. I don't wear a lot of clothes. I don't have a lot of weaponry with me from the looks of it. I mostly just appear to be this being of metal and leather wandering through the city.
Okay, and what do you think you're doing during Stella Solace where you've met with everyone else? Are you just staying busy with your own crew, or do you think you're wandering around?
I'm going around talking to those I know, catching up on the local hot gossip, you know?
Okay. You were actually informed upon this that you're actually being moved crews, and you're being joined by two others that aren't really part of the Freeman group. The first one joining you is Turn One. Who are you playing, and what do you look like?
My name is Sirlade. I am a 5'7" half elf. I have a brown hair, basically right down the middle, with shaved sides. I am wearing a beige tunic, and over top of that is I think a trench coat with the arms removed. And I have a series of black bands that come up and tie around my arm with folded in little pieces of wood. And I'm carrying a rapier on my left hip.
Alright. You are escorted by the typical people you've come with. You've made your way here through various bribes and a few rough days of travel, but the Freemen are pretty good at navigating the desert, and you've probably been with them for about a week. You've been informed as well, upon getting to this gathering, that you're allowed to have your free time. You can walk around, you can meet them, but at the end of this, you are being assigned to a crew. The first person you met was indeed this biomech sort of Warforged with the scary plate, who has an odd name you're unable to comprehend how to spell. The other person joining you, Justin, who are you playing?
I'm a halfling, an artificer actually. My name is Fizzlewitz Bellbottom. Uh,
I think we lost you there, Justin. Can you try that again?
Yeah. Some technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a live stream if not for moments like this. Let me just quickly send him a message and we'll get back to this. Sorry guys, I do apologize. Have that.
Apology not accepted.
At the end of the day,
Just had to happen, didn't it?
It's fine, it's fine. I'll just send him a quick little message through Discord and let him know what happened.
Did it die? Hello,
Yeah, it
testing,
did,
testing.
There we are.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can hear it. Oh my god, where
Yes.
did it cut out at?
We
I'm
got as
sorry.
far as Fizzlewit's Bell Bottom, a halfling.
Ugh.
That was all she wrote.
Damn it! I went through like my whole spiel too. Okay, try again.
Take two.
Sorry. As I said, I am Fizzlewit's Bellbottom, the halfling artificer. My hair is white, spotty, covered in soot. Patches of it may or may not have been burned off. I'm wearing a scale mail. I've got a shield on my left arm. On my right side hangs a strange gun-like, well, pistol-like device that isn't quite a pistol. On my back is a very unusual backpack. It seems to be made of thin leather metal. It's got all kinds of like flashing lights and whirring gears on it, and levers, and even a couple just rope pulleys on it.
Fantastic. You have also been traveling with the Freeman, but you've definitely fit in quite nicely with their culture. Many of them even impressed by some of the gadgets you have on you, and there's definitely been a few questions or even some keen interest as to whether or not you would be joining a crew of your own. But upon arriving here at this winter gathering, you were also informed you don't really get that choice, and you've already been traded off to a different
No, I have,
crew
like-
in exchange for being
No.
able to stay here with the Fremen. You guys are actually currently being escorted, the three of you together, towards what seems to be a half-elf talking with a bald human. And they seem to be having a bit of an argument as the guy escorting you kind of clears his throat
shit.
and gets their attention. He turns towards them, and it's a very brief introduction. The man bringing you here seems to be quite busy, and he almost barks his words. Fulvin, these three, they've been given over to you, and that was about it. So, have off with them, and I guess good luck. And Fulvin looks towards you guys. He's a half-elf, sandy blonde hair, and he's in very airy sort of clothes. Very, very tanned. He has a cut-off vest. Skin, everything is just browned almost to a crisp. You swear he's spent his entire life burning under the sun, and he eventually reached the point where he could burn no longer. He turns towards you guys as the escort is walking up, and he goes, let's see. We have, I know you, and he points towards the Warforged, then looks at the other two. You two. I imagine the little one's quite good, and don't really know what you bring, he says as his eyes settle on Cyrodiil. I'm a little busy though, so I'll give you a first little task. Welcome to Tick Tick. It's a small little vessel. We'll be heading north. Probably a bit more to the west upon the start of the day, but we need some scout vessels. A couple of smaller ground shakers, if you will. So if you guys could follow off and find some of them for me, get them back to Tick Tick, you'll find it easy enough. Load them on and we should be good to go. As a quick little side note, I will be sending you guys a little description of some of them. Or if you want, we could talk through it if you want. But there's quite a few choices for these ground shakers. They're the mechanical things that people tend to use here to get around, if that makes sense.
Main vehicles of transportation.
So do you prefer the list, or do you want to actually get into it and get some descriptions going? It's up to you.
Let's get some descriptions
You
going.
don't mind, sir?
I'm a fan of role-playing things out myself.
Fantastic. That's what I
That's
like
because
to
I
hear.
like the sound of my own voice.
Alright. So, after he walks away,
You're gonna parallel me through this place?
Chick. You've been here at the Solace before, and you actually happen to know where you can usually find most of the ground shakers that are up for trade.
Mhm.
Would you like to go that way? How would you like to go about?
First, I haven't really met the other two that I have been assigned to work with, right?
Indeed.
So I'm going to, after we've left company of the others, I'm going to nod to both of you and introduce myself in my
Mine.
native tongue. And I'm going to go,
India.
well,
You
The
say
character.
that, but I don't remember the controls. You're playing false.
I'm sorry. What did you say to me? What did you tell me?
You do not know the pure language of machines, do you? Apologies.
No, we're going to
Do
play.
I
I
look like a robot?
I am from the city of Wet Drops.
Of course.
I'm not so sure if that actually is a
No,
robot.
I don't know what it is, but it's god-awful looking.
Robot
speak of me?
construct, or are you sentient on your own? I can't quite tell.
You refer to me.
Yes.
I am I am machine-bodied. Thus, more pure than you. That is not your fault, though.
Okay.
I suppose. I'll give a very elegant flourish and a bow. I am Day. I come from Clear Beach, and to be honest, I'm just in here for the money. Just looking for a good time.
Well,
No better ways to have good times.
I'm Fizzle with Spellbottom, and I was volunteered to give you two support.
Nice to meet you, Master Halfling?
Spellbottom.
Master Halfling. That works for me.
That'll do too.
Do they
So,
call you halfling because you are half the size of a man?
Well, I
it a bell?
suppose.
believe that's how things should be said. What the name implies. But you, Metal Man,
I am.
what you said. Are we not supposed to be going
I
somewhere?
am not man, though. Never have been man.
Are you a female? Do you not have a gender?
Or do not now. Used to be I
Yeah, I'm gonna need
participated
to
in feminine
and
activities.
go
Not so much these days.
I'm gonna be sitting here for a while.
I can't handle the thought of my mouth making that unholy sound. Is there anything else I can call you?
All you have to do is go.
I am.
Yes,
I
but
am-
that's dirty. I do not want that sound in my mouth.
Your words are dirty, My name is Pure of the Machines, taught to us by the Stella too. Look at yourself.
What's wrong with my outfit? Am I not dashing? I have my flute at my side, my rapier ready to go.
Serves no purpose. You expose your arms to weakness and weather. Sandstone comes, you will be stripped of your flesh.
How dare you? I am the fastest flute in the West.
I do not
Do you
believe
not know
you
this
can
name?
flute a sandstorm.
Regardless, shall we not be on our way? Time is wasting. There are coins to be counted.
If you believe we ought to hurry.
And no time like the present, I say.
I will show you where they keep the little shakers.
How little are these things? I'll just wander after you, just muttering to myself.
And because I know the area, I'm gonna lead you guys to where they keep the more personal transport vehicles.
Easy enough. It's definitely still a very busy place, and there's still slight music playing in the background. It's later at night, and that's when most of the Freemen tend to come out. Besides that, seems most of these cities have been almost arranged in almost a ring. The major ones are able to hold thousands of people, and this market could stretch for miles. But that being said, it's almost broken up into smaller little sections, and you make your way through these gathering crowds who are taking shade under some of the other awnings and ground shakers and whatnot, and you find a small place off to the side. There seems to be a human who's talking to a few other people, and everyone here is wearing some sort of odd suit usually. The Fremen are quite worried about water and the uses of it, and most of them actually tend to have these suits that help to hold it in. Alternatively, you have the people such as the captain who wear very airy clothing in an attempt to try to stay cool. As you're approaching, though, another human kind of breaks away from the crowd, and he walks towards you guys, and he goes, "Ah, terrific! I assume you're not lost, and if you are, please come here anyways. I'm sure I could interest you in something. We have plenty of things to go around." What city are you from? Which ground shaker? What are you looking for?
Oh.
I'm gonna look to both of you guys expectantly, especially Chatty McChatterpants.
You expect me to know what I'm doing here? I pay a few guards. I get handed over here. All I wanted was out, and now I'm to be rummaging around in some machines?
Oh, please, if you're new, I could show you. There's plenty of Freeman things to see. Plenty. We have machines that go flop. We have machines that go boom. We have pretty much anything you can imagine is what we have. Are you hoping for something slower, something faster, something bit more exotic, perhaps?
Quick and agile. We come
Oh, yeah.
seeking smaller shakers for.
The,
Why did you start it?
the gentleman who talked to us, he said something
Why did you
for gathering information, something quick, quiet, small, out of the way. More reconnaissance than anything.
Well,
If we're going to do the job, we may as well do it right.
Oh, we have something for reconnaissance that is quite quick and fast. I don't know if it's very quiet, though. I will save you the machine speak, as you two don't seem to be from here, but it's have you ever heard of something called a fan that can move the air? We have one that's a bit on its side. Think of it as self-centering, much like a gyroscope, and it kind of just goes in a circle. An alarm sounds to let you know the blades are switching the other direction. There's a slight sudden stop of motion, and then it goes the other way. It's best to keep things strapped down on these and listen for the alarm to let you know when it's going to be stopping. Probably one of the faster ones if you want it.
I would like to roll perception on my companions and try to figure out how strong I think they both are.
Perception or insight could work, either one, if you're looking for their muscles or if you're trying to gauge more of a mental strength.
It's physical strength I'm looking for.
Perception it
21.
is. Let's see those guns, boys. What did you get?
21.
21. How physically fit do you look, Cyrodiil?
Sirlade, and I have a strength of 8.
Strength of 8. And what about you, Fizzle?
Also not very strong. It's only a 10.
I mean, you understand that to be on one of these machines, after being in one yourself, they would probably do best strapped in at all times, or be flung off the edge.
I'm going to make a sound of disappointment. I do not believe either could stay on without additional supports. And I'd prefer not to scrape one of them off a mountainside when they lose their grips.
Well, we also have the paddle foots. He gestures behind him, and you see what seems to be a very large walker with two. It looks like wheels on either side, but instead of wheels, it's just the spokes, and they seem to be some sort of weird composite material that's been bent like a curved paddle at about a slight slope, and there seems to be about 4 on each of these. And you can get the idea that once it starts going, the paddles would just spin opposite each other and help it propel itself forward. If that doesn't work, we also have the leapers, and he points to another one, and you see what seems to be a ratcheting catapult that looks like it would ratchet itself down and then jump forward much like a frog. The
No,
capsule
that's a light.
seems heavily armored, as if the impacts that it would take wouldn't be the most comfortable. Besides that, we also have crawlers, and he points to another one that seems to have an array of about 4 legs and another 4 in the back. And they seem to be offset from each other, and it looks like it would actually move sideways as it walked, much like a crab. Really, any of those? We also have personnel suits if you're looking to go with one person at a time, but these ones, the floppers, the catapults, and the alarms, the gyroscopes, would be able to carry anywhere from 5 to 10 at a time.
Well, I'm kind of liking that fast one.
I like the ratcheting one. I have used it before. It's fun.
I personally do not care. I just would like to get on with my life. I have things to explore, bags to steal, and it seems like I'm wasting my breath here.
Well, I mean, I would hate for you to waste it, and if you want to not waste your breath, perhaps you should start wasting some gold instead. So, what I'm hearing is we have an interest in the discs, yes, the rings, and what else? Are you just looking for 1, 2, 3, 4?
2.
2. So what is the other one, or do you simply want 2 of these?
Is there another either of you fancied?
I have a good guess.
As I said before, I really don't care.
Yes, I was talking to the other.
Well, the faster the better. I've never seen these kind of contraptions, and this is all very fascinating.
She brought up.
I dearly hope you don't expect me to pay out of pocket for this.
Fine.
I'm supposed to be getting paid for this, you know.
It's a unique experience, though.
Well, if you know the name of your captain, I could always bill him for you on your behalf.
What was the name of the captain again?
You're telling me none of you know who your captain is?
I don't even know where I am. Never mind the name of some.
I'm asking you out of character, Connor.
I know, and I'm saying it was said, and I kind of like making fun of people if they don't take notes, but I'll spare you in a second or two if I have to.
Yeah, I'm kind of working on drying out my character.
Fair enough. The name you were given was Fulvin.
I did lock on, but
Was what?
Fulvin.
was it chance?
F-U-L
Stolen?
up into my
apostrophe
studio quickly.
R-I-N.
I didn't grab a notebook for this stuff.
Notebooks will be very useful here, as I have plenty of names if needed, and plenty of small little things to keep you guys busy. So Fulvindin is the name of this captain.
Yes.
So we have one ring, and might I suggest perhaps a Petalfoot, just in case these two aren't able to hold on
that's
quite so
best.
tight.
Probably the best of ideas at this moment.
Fantastic. I will have them sent over to his ground shaker. I would suggest once you use them, please give them a name if you intend to keep them along. I'm unsure really of how Fulvin came to be of this ship TikTok. I know there was a few people that had an interest in it, but good for him. Good to move on in our ways, yes? Progress is progress.
I'm just grabbing all the little useless items, trying to find anything better than what I have. 'Cause my next little bit of
So
money
with that, he
or
kind of
gold or whatever.
turns away from you guys and he walks back a little bit and he leans over to someone and he whispers some things, and he watches this guy kind of like starts calling out names to various people, making what seems to be plenty of sounds as he's addressing various people who look up at each weird little sound and annotation. And soon enough, he seems to have a group of about 5 people, and he walks off. And this guy returns to you once again, the original salesperson. He goes, "Is there anything else I could be doing for you, or does this conclude your visit?"
Hopefully that is all that we need to deal with you about. I'd really like to get going.
Well, with these, you'll be able to go as far as you want, and probably about faster than you would want.
Wonderful. Thank you for your business. I assume it is your
Is this
business.
the one with the dragon level?
It's,
And
thank you for your business and your patronage.
Hopefully we never meet again.
Well, I suppose that is one way to try to do business, and he'll give you like a slight little bow as he like turns away from you guys, and he's already eyeing the crowd for another person walking up. And about as soon as he's cleared distance from you guys, he is already after another person walking by. And with that, you guys find yourself still in this weird little atmosphere. Wind blowing slightly and the sound of like chatter and business going on all about you.
So, now that we have this, whatever it's called, are we supposed to go somewhere? I was not told much. I assume that you'll know more? What was it?
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, nearly bit my tongue doing it.
It just takes practice. Maybe we
Rather
should.
not.
That is all it takes to harm you.
Not dirty bastard.
You will not survive out in the desert.
Yeah, that does not bode well.
Does my face and my hair look like it belongs in the desert? No. I belong in a tavern, with a nice mug of ale, and a beautiful woman at my side. Desert slumming around? That's not my job.
I'm gonna smile at you, though you can't see it behind the metal plate I wear over my face. You can see the hint of mirth hidden behind the glass panel that protects my eyes. People say I was pretty once. Would you like my company?
That is that shield right there.
Heard your name, and I've seen what monstrosity you are, and I will take a gentle pass. Thank you very much.
Actually, I think that it's quite fascinating. Check. I have a question. Does that chest plate open up? What do you have inside there? I'd love to take a look if it's okay.
Please. If you want to get my armor off, you must buy me dinner first.
What do you eat?
I don't know. Whatever strikes my fancy often.
We will have to find out. Maybe we should go talk to this Captain Fulren?
I suppose. Do you know how long it takes these people, I'll just gesture around vaguely, to set up the machines so we can leave?
They will be sending them to...
Yes, but how long? You're not answering my question. You've been
Do you
around
not
here.
know? I don't know these people personally.
But you're familiar with their practice, how they do things. So how are you not the master?
That is like asking somebody, how long does a cabinet maker take to make a cabinet? Depends on the maker, does it not? How long does it take a bard to sing a song? Which song is he singing?
3.14 minutes, usually on average.
And there we have it. Math, pure science. And you've given me nothing but excuses.
But Chick
So-
does have a point about the cabinet maker thing. It really does depend on the person making the cabinet and the type of cabinet.
Been all around these parts. I've been through many guilds. I've seen many artisans, and they all have a method, and it is as streamlined as possible. I haven't seen that much variance.
Well, it would take me 3 hours to sew your jacket. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Perfect. Beautiful. Right down to the number. So, if you please, lead the way. I am all ears.
As you guys are walking back the way you came, you do see what seems to be a decently sized ground shaker that probably hold 50 to 100 people comfortably, and you see Fulgrin outside, and as soon as he sees you guys, he's already waving excitedly as if he's like happy to see you. But judging by the tone of his voice, it seems more like he was impatient as he goes, "Finally! What took you so long? How long does it take to get out there and just buy 2 scout ships? Already behind schedule. We're trying to get out of here before the rest of the Solace breaks up." Where's the machines?
You shouldn't be looking at us. The gentleman who we were talking to, he was just rambling on and on. I'm fairly certain he loved the sound of his voice. Like, he just kept going, and it was impossible to make him stop.
Sounds like someone I'm currently talking to, but unfortunately I didn't talk to him. I sent you. So I assume it is on its way.
They said they were moving it somewhere. They said they were preparing it for us, and they said they were sending you the bill.
Okay. Well, I guess if that is the best you have for me, that is what I will have to accept. Hello. I suppose now I have time to introduce myself. I am Freeman. I will be your captain. Try not to need me unless it is something important. All questions, if you have them, please direct them to Youth. And he gestures towards the bald human next to him who's sweating profusely. The guy, he's in rough, decent shape. He definitely looks rugged, as if he's seen better times throughout his life. And he's currently, like, rubbing his head, and he leaves, like, a streak of oil across his forehead as he goes. And he just kind of, like, gives you guys a nod. And the captain speaks again. He's the first engineer of Tick Tick. So, bug him if you need anything. I was told you guys are coming along for security on my ventures.
Is that what we're doing? I wasn't told anything. I expect to come here and have a nice cup of wine, have dinner laid out for me,
Perhaps
maybe
you were
play a few
told
of my
and
songs.
argued the point too much that they stopped talking.
No, that couldn't be it. It had to do something with whatever they were talking about.
Regardless, I was given this land shaker. In exchange, they were allowed to pick half of my crew. You were one of the half assigned to me.
Oh, goody. My favorite.
Goody indeed. Now, as captain, I will be able to fill out your slots based on whatever talents you bring to my crew, and so far to you, it looks like night shift, guard duty. Ah, silence. I'm glad we finally come to an understanding. And he turns towards the halfling. What about you? What can you provide?
As well, guard duty seems kind of like a waste of my talents. I am quite a good inventor, and I am actually quite good at making things blow up and catch on fire.
Intentionally or accidentally, these are two very different skills. One much more useful than the other.
Captain.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, well, I mean, we always do have a place for tinkerers and stuff, aboard such vessels. I believe I know you can repair things, and he looks towards, briefly. Perhaps I will assign you two together, and also assign you to this one. And he points towards Cyrodiil.
I need
Right?
to pick on. I need to pick.
Cyrlidae.
Cyrlidae?
Cyrlidae.
Pyrodil?
There's always a name I can't pronounce. This is my course.
What about Shimmer?
He looks towards you
Splash.
and goes, and perhaps I can assign you guys to him as well and make sure he stays out of
Sure.
trouble.
All I am is trouble. I play my songs. I'm a little quick-fingered, if you will, but I am purely no harm.
That is exactly what one who is trouble would say.
You're not incorrect, but you are ugly.
Well,
You look quite rude. And when somebody spills your guts, I will not fix you.
so,
I had that coming.
that being said, if you would like to come aboard and we could be off as soon as the other ground shakers arrive, again, if you have any questions, direct them to Yurith. Or that the
I'm
captain.
going to ask him in machine speak where my abode will be.
Kind of like gives you a bit of a screwed up face and he goes, he still carries on in common, and he kind of like he blades his stance a little bit as if to include the other two in this, and he says, well, being as now you have been assigned this one, perhaps I could find some sort of accommodations for all three of you to share. I'm sure we can clear out a small house or something like that aboard Tick-Tick, perhaps near the front, in case I am needed to call upon you. Will that do?
Sounds most reasonable.
As
If
long
we
as
must
there's a
share,
comfy
then
bed.
so be it.
And
But I
he'll...
definitely look just a little bit put out by the idea that I have to share a room with the chatty bard, who has insulted me multiple times.
Love you.
that the captain kind of like turns on his heels and walks away. And the Yurith walks up, the very sweaty human, his hands still kind of covered in what seems to be some sort of viscous fluid that could probably be oil. And he kind of like extends his hand towards, probably towards the bioforged first. And he goes, Chick Chick, I've heard good things about you and your patch. And he clasps your hand and gives it a hearty shake if you let him.
I do. I have heard good things of you too.
Good, I am glad. And then he goes up to... I'm going to mess up your name again. I almost don't want to say it.
Just call me Seer.
Seer. He extends his hand towards you, Seer.
I'll like look a little taken aback, and I'll look for something on the ground desperately. I'll pick like a piece of garbage up, and I'll just like put it over my hand and like grab his hand.
Oh, you are not going to have a good time on Tick-Tick. It's one of the older models. More bio than machine, I'm afraid to say. You're aware of the tilts, yes?
The what now?
The tilts. Blood tilts. I mean, this thing, oil is hard to find, so we tend to take blood from the crew about once a month, depending on how much you can take. A matter of fact, he looks down his hand. I'm willing to bet at least 70% of this is blood, not my own.
Oh my goodness, no! I
Ah,
did not sign up for this.
don't worry, you'll love it. And as he takes his hand away, he like claps you on the shoulder, leaving a bloody handprint.
And
I'll be like,
then SUCK. No.
He looks towards you, Fizzle, and he kind of like
Did you
lowers
are-
his
oh,
posture a
okay,
little
yeah.
bit, but he's trying to still like keep his posture upright and not over top of you, as if he's trying to be polite. And, he goes, and I take it you and me will get along quite nicely, yes?
Oh yes, I have quite a lot of questions about the ship.
Fantastic. I'm sure I will be able to answer most of them as first engineer, but I've heard what you said about exploding things. I would say try to either keep it in a workshop, well-ventilated area,
Or some,
away
like,
from the
like,
moving bits, or besides that, underneath you
I-
could probably go to one of the engine bays, or you will find another one of the workshops. There's two, I believe,
Well,
on
then I'm not sure.
Tick-Tick, one at the front and one at the back, where we are storing
One
materials.
single amber earlier.
Oh, good. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm using it now.
No guarantees, though. Accidents do happen sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. My health.
Besides that, if you are in need of material, you can talk to Trumpet, or if you want, you can call him Manny. He is the quartermaster. Hard to miss. Large elephant person, gray skin, trunk, all of that, thus the name Trumpet. If you need to get patched up, you can talk to Braz. He is the leading medical officer. Out of character, I'll have all of these names in the chat for you. And lastly, food, stuff like that, just take what you are given. We eat 3 times a day, usually in mass. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything should be clearly labeled. And he like gestures nonchalantly towards the machine behind you guys. And now you can get a clear look of Tick-Tick. Again, it looks like it could hold 50 to 100 people. It seems to be another crawler, but it actually has, it's very wide instead of long. And it seems to have 3 sets of legs, 4x4 for a total of 12.
As he's talking on and on, I'm gonna use prestidigitation and just like clean the blood off my vest while I'm just slowly gagging.
So you're having a great time, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm
A+.
hearing.
A+ time, never better.
Okay. And with that, are you guys going aboard this ship, or?
Yep. I
Unfortunately,
am going to go and attempt to find a place to start making home.
Okay.
Vicious.
You make your way on. Currently, the ground shaker is laying very low, with a ramp extending down into the sand, and some of the sand has started to like blow its way up. But you make your way on.
Easier
It's
for
decently well
targeting.
maintained. The ground definitely seems to be made of some sort of stone. The walls, there's like certain metal panels, but everything else seems to have like this weird sort of texture to it, almost as if it's some sort of composite material of what you take would probably be biomass or what could be mixed with metal. If you're proficient in history, you can roll it. You can roll with advantage being a Freeman yourself if you care as to what this material is.
I have trained in history as well, so I'm gonna roll that.
I got a 7.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
And
20.
Fizzle, are you rolling or no?
I am not trained in history.
Got it. Are you trained in arcane?
Mm-hmm.
You can roll that instead then.
Okay, then. Oh shit! That is a natural 20 for a total of 27.
Alright. So, and Fizzle, you're aware that the Fremen are definitely worried when it comes to wasting resources. For you, Fizzle, you're aware that Fremen tend to use a lot of magic to help preserve things. Gentle Repose is a spell that pretty much any Fremen can cast. Besides that, anything working with necromancy is usually used to help preserve these places. And that being said, a bunch of like the dead is recycled and used within the building of these things. Usually the bigger the cities also tend to grow faster since they have a higher addition as people die and move on. You're aware that the Fremen, before they actually became the Freemen, they were tribesmen that still followed the same ritual of using every bit they could. Underneath the sun, it was hard, and they would only use work at night. But with the use of like raise dead, gentle oppose, they were able to kind of expand their tribes and whatnot to work during the day, and this helped them immensely. Eventually, there is a point in the Freeman history where they started having dreams, and then the ground shakers and stuff like that became more common, but the use of necromancy and whatnot as part of their heritage has still always been a big driving force for them. And you know for a fact that these walls, especially with Faldrin or description of this being a older city, probably is 70 or 60% recycled biomass instead of the actual materials that you would find here in the deserts.
Okay.
But you make your way together as a group through here, and sure enough, there seems to be a mark left. One of them even having like, it looks like a note was posted by someone with written underneath it +2, and it points off towards a small, well, not small, but a moderately sized building. It seems in good repair, and it's been like a doorway cut into the side of one of these walls, almost like a panel door.
Nah. Bodo waits. And I'm gonna start heading off that way.
Getting inside, it's about what you would expect. It seems like it's been stripped quite thoroughly from whoever used to live here, as this place has been recently acquired. No one's really had a chance to move in, but there's a few amenities. You can see there's a bathroom. There seems to be 3 separate bedrooms, a dining room, and then what seems to be a storage area. The whole place being maybe 80 feet by like 40 feet for all of you guys to live in.
Wow.
Now, I do not know of you, but I have many tools to unpack. I'm gonna walk over to the storage room and start unpacking a bunch of smith tools, leatherworking tools, and tinkering tools.
A being after my own heart. This
I don't know
place,
about you, but I'm gonna go look around.
Mr. Siemens.
See if there's any wallets to lift.
good luck with that. And I whack him on the butt as he goes out, leaving a greasy, dirty handprint.
Son of a bitch.
Fizzle, are you just also making yourself busy unpacking stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna unpack anything that I'm like not gonna be bringing with me before I head out into town or something.
All right. Cyrodiil? Cyrodiil?
Cyrilidae.
Cyrilidae. Can you roll a perception check for me with less sass? I'm trying.
Expertise gives it. What? 25.
25.
I forgot how to do math.
So you come out and you fall into your normal habits of looking for easy mugs, but it's difficult. Most of the Fremen seem as if they've made a bunch of their living stealing, and a bunch of them seem guarded, or so they don't have much. But, this being a newly acquired city, there are boxes stacked at many places that people are trying to move in. There's a line of people going up and down the ramp, plenty of things left with maybe one or two people keeping an eye out, but you get the idea that if you really wanted, you could probably have better luck pilfering some of these crates.
Okay. I would like to go up to a series of crates that only one person is guarding, and then I'd like to pat the person on the shoulder and say hello.
Hello, and it seems to be a half-elf, and he's been, like, leaning up against these crates. And he looks at you a little suspiciously at first, and he goes, "You don't seem like you're from around here."
No, actually, just moving into the area, just on a job for the captain. But I meant to come send a message to you. It seems like Trumpet was looking for you. Something about accommodations.
I already have my accommodations, that's why I've stacked my boxes here, and he'll pat the box he's leaning against.
Exactly why I've come to look for you. There seems to be some mistake with your accommodations, and Trumpet needs to talk to you.
I'll tell you what, outsider. You say the name the way he says his name, and I'll believe you. I don't think that's how he pronounces it.
Out of character. I'm just thinking. Because I have actor, and I heard the captain talking, would I be able to
The captain
mimic...
said it in common as well. But you could guess if you want. It would be a trumpet sound if you can make something like that.
Just running ahead.
You can, I'll let you roll a performance if you're feeling a little stage fright, though.
It's the best I got.
I didn't hear it.
Really?
Hey man, I'm just trying to be fair. You're trying to steal this guy's livelihood, alright? The least I can do is have some fun.
You want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
And I'll do my best imitation of like an elephant's trumpet.
You can roll performance with advantage.
That one is a 7 and then a 19. So that one gives me a 26.
He looks a little taken aback. I mean, it was a little flat, but, you know, it's your first time here, so. Tell you what, I'll trust you, but I'll remember your face. With that, he kind of like gives you a clap on the shoulder, and he walks away and goes, "There's only 60 or so of us on this barge, and I'll find ya."
I'll do now, but after you hit him, he went for you.
As soon as no one's looking, I'm just gonna start like looking through the crates, see if there's anything.
Alright, roll an investigation check for me.
Well, not a bad time.
Investigation. I have Jack Dillon investigation, so that is an 11.
An 11. Alright. You you're searching around, and there's a few pieces of clothing, there's stuff like that, and suddenly you feel a little, like a tug at your knees, and you look down, and you see a goblin there, and he goes, "Lad, you're fitting in just well. Try and do that." And he like kind of climbs his way up onto the crate, and he joins you pilfering this guy's stuff. And he kind of like pulls out like a sack of what seems to be a couple of silver and a couple of gold, and he spills it onto his hand. And he like puts half of it, and then he gives you the other half, and you can add 5 gold and 10 silver to your inventory.
Beautiful.
Amber, really? Out of everything you put
I'll
you got me a fucking
reply back in Goblin. Thanks for the tip.
Well, you know,
lamp.
it is the way.
Do you have any bow and
And
arrows,
with that, he
Alan?
kind of like looks to a few
Don't
more
you
things,
find
and he
those
grabs what
out
seems to
of
be a
Westbury?
nice pair of socks, and he tucks that away as well. And then he like hops down.
I'm going to do my best to set the crates as they were, and then I'm just gonna whistle and just walk away casually,
Okay,
and I'll look for it. You can come back to me.
right. Fizzle and you guys take a little bit of time setting up your tools. It probably won't take you too long. So is there anything else you would like to do once you have your tools all nice and set up, or do you think you'll be pretty comfortable?
I want to work on cleaning the dust out of some of my parts. So I'm gonna like set up at the table. I'm gonna get some tools together, some tinkering tools together, and I'm just gonna start like taking apart my finger joints and making sure they're all fitting together nicely, like doing routine maintenance on them. When I do this though, I'm also going to unlatch this leather cowl piece from my faceplate. I'm going to take off the faceplate, revealing like this bug-colored skin of mine. It's clearly the mix of like elven and orcish heritage. One half of my face is just covered with scars, and the eye on my left side glows with arcane energy.
Okay.
As it is doing this, I stop my work and just watch fascinated, and like almost unconsciously one of my arms just reaches out and starts taking notes.
I'm not even aware of this. I've got like really short, chopped up brown hair. It would be in a bob if like the whole like left side of my face wasn't like scarred and burnt. Like I'm even missing the ear on that side.
Oh,
So
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you are ugly. I was just being rude about it.
I see.
I am recycled biomatter, sir.
I see that you've had some mishaps also in the workshop.
I'm gonna like rub
It's
one
okay.
hand over my scarred cheek.
It's okay. It happens for the rest of us.
She never had mishaps. The body that I came from did.
Oh, okay. By the way, what kind of do you use a weapon in battle? What do
With
you?
that, I'm going to flick one wrist, and you just see this giant heavy crossbow unfold from my forearm, my hand disappearing into the mechanisms that load it. Some.
Oh my, that's quite interesting. You know, I could make some nifty little changes to that if you'd like give me maybe like an hour or two.
You believe you can do better work than I have done on myself?
Oh, not better work. I can just add some nifty little things to it.
Do you have designs for these changes?
Oh yes, I do. I pull out some crumpled up papers and straighten them all out. I here you see if I use this crystal, and just like attach it to there, and then put these wires around there. Basically, I'm showing you the radiant weapon. With
So I'm gonna get like really invested in this and just start going over your schematics with you of what you intend to do.
mechanically, mechanically, if you want to know, I can give it a +1 bonus to attack and damage. You can take a bonus action to make it to shed bright light in a 30 feet, dim light for another 30, and it also has 4 charges. Use a reaction after being hit by an attack, and you can cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of the attacker's next turn.
I think I would trust you enough to let you modify at least one of my limbs.
Oh, good. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I have a scimitar in my dominant hand.
Would you rather me do it to the scimitar? The type of weapon doesn't really matter.
I'm going to like heft up the heavy crossbow. Now this is because I only get to hit them once, and then I cuddle them with this, and I'm gonna hold up the scimitar.
Well, the choice of which one I alter it will be up to you.
I think the scimitar would get more use out of being modified.
Okay. Person. I like my ranged attack. But yeah, I'll take the scimitar and I will happily begin working.
Yeah.
Just absolutely having the time of my life. I swear that.
So I guess whenever
worth it.
I guess whenever the rude bard gets back, he's gonna see us bonding.
Yeah. How long does it take you to do this?
I believe it's like about an hour or something. Been quite a while since I played a artificer.
Alright, so you guys do indeed tuck in together and you get busy having the time of your life, finally getting to really experiment on something that's really unknown to you, never before seen, and it's fascinating seeing how like the Freeman have managed to merge this technology together with the way they do it, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but with Chick being able to explain a few things, you set to work, and before you know it, it's invigorating but easy enough for you to do and to work on, but it will take you a little bit. Cyril.
I do have a very rough sketch of what I look like so far.
Not Cyril, eh? Cyril Day. Let me make that big. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Mostly just mapping out where the metal plates go on like the sewn together leather.
Lizard.
It might be flesh of other beings. It might just be deer hides. You don't know. I don't know. We don't ask questions around here, okay?
Also, that video you sent me, I still haven't watched it.
Alright, Cyril Day?
Oh,
Am I getting closer or farther?
people the dirt.
It depends on the mouthful.
One
Cyril Day.
Cyril Day.
Cyril Day.
Cyril Day.
Seal the day.
Seal the day. Seal of the day. Is there anything else you would like to make yourself doing, or do you think
I
more
just
of
want
the
to
same?
take a look around. If there's people like sitting down gambling or playing cards or anything, I'd like to join them. Otherwise, no, just kind of wander around and take stock of basically everything around us.
Yeah, alright, well, you do indeed do that. You wander through. It seems the lower into this place you go, the more bio it is, and closer to the top it seems to be more mechanical. You see all sorts of weird things. You see tarp that look like they can be dragged out to cover this thing during the day. You see a few people doing healing magic where it looks like parts of the city has gotten sunburnt. and stuff like that. You find various shops scattered across here. Some of them dealing with scrap, some of them dealing with weapons, tools, pretty much anything you could think of you could almost find here. One of the oddest things, though, is there seems to be some sort of pawn shop. Let me just turn this music down a little bit. Pawn shops and stuff like that scattered around the area, as if like having to get rid of goods is a common occurrence. But yeah, is there any shop in particular you wanted to look at or anything like that? Or just a quick little
Somewhere
scout
around
around and see what it's like?
Mostly scout around, see what kind of people are around here, looking at patterns, if there's anyone of interest. Actually, I just want to see. With the actor feat, I can listen to anyone for a minute and imitate their voice. I'm just curious how long it lasts.
Okay. You're also an urchin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You need 1 minute, but it lasts for as long as you can keep it up, pretty much.
Yeah, it doesn't say a limit, so I'm assuming as long
Yeah, like
within
you-
reason. I can't just remember the voice and have it in a bank for later.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, for the most part, I'll just kind of wander around, just meander through the halls, and then most likely just head back to the house.
Alright, sounds good. So, you do familiarize yourself quite well. There's a few things that kind of catch your interest. It seems as though there's a tower that kind of like sits in the center of this place with a spiral staircase that goes up. You understand that's where the captain is supposed to be, as well as with his navigators. Deep down in the bowels of the ship, you found where again it gets a bit more bio. There's a few places closed off to you, and the deeper you go into like the guts of this machine, you find less and less common and more of what seems to be the machine speak, with people just clicking at each other and almost just vocalizing different sounds to communicate. And usually when you get too close to them or you stare too long, the conversations kind of die down and you get like these weird looks, these sidelong glances as if you're being rude to intrude. But everyone seems friendly enough, and eventually you do make your way back to the house, and you find it your two companions that seem to be bonding well, with the slightly disassembled and tools strewn across the work table of what you thought was meant to be the dining room table.
Is this it now? We're treating our home like savages?
We are
Do you
doing
not have
this.
a better? Do you not have a better place to do this than where we will eat?
We need table. Big table.
What do you mean? I eat at my workstation all the time.
I suppose if I'm the only one
If
here.
you need another table specifically for eating, I will make you a table for eating. Just
I would
find
just
one.
like to keep work and home on different ends of the table, if you understand.
1 second. I'm going to go. I'm going to like
Where the stats
take off my arm at the shoulder joint and leave it on the table.
No, yeah.
Go to my room, pick up a thing of paints,
It was on the
come
bottom.
back, and with my left hand paint a line down the middle of the table,
Yeah.
about 2/3 of the way down. And on one side, I'm going to write in Elven eating, and on the other side, the 2/3 side, working. Does this work?
I suppose you can't be all bad if you speak the mother language.
I speak many languages.
I bet you try and think too.
And we got the cell.
It's really quaint of you.
Of course, I think. I
And
am
I'll just
better than you.
and I'll just kind of wander around the house. Probably end up going to my room.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I actually have something for you that should be kind of useful later, and I'll flip you a
Okay.
ring.
What's this?
I just put it on. I believe you bardy type people use spells as well. That will actually give you back some of your magical abilities once a day.
Ah,
It acts as Pearl of Power, out of character.
Pearl of Power.
Yeah, basically.
So don't you go down?
Thank
It
you.
seems to be made of a gear, and it has a
Help me with the fireball?
what? Might be a green gem on it.
It says I need a command word to activate it.
Oh, that hasn't been set. You see, you
Okay.
just turn it 1/4 to the left and speak the command word, and then turn it 1/4 to the right, and that will be all set.
I guess you're not all that bad. Thank you. And I'll reach into my coin purse and I'll just flip you a gold that I stole from that poor man.
Oh no, thanks. I've got money. Besides,
you would?
I was volunteered to give you guys support, and this is part of that.
Well, I'll gladly take it anytime you can give it. So, do either of you know what our days are going to look like? What we're doing with those god-awful contraptions?
Hopefully spending a lot of time with those god-awful contraptions and seeing a lot more and learning all about it. It's gonna
Do
be
not
great.
blast random great machines.
I mean, what's the point? Obviously, you can enjoy yourself and study it all you like, but what is the point? What is the
Did you already
idea? What is the direction?
We
Are
are
we
here
looking
on
for someone? Are we looking for information? Are we looking for certain materials?
Isn't knowledge the
We are
point as
here to
well?
work as guards on the ship.
Then why would
Sign your employment papers without reading them? I mean, I know
This slow moving
Oh, I-
organic
I-
organisms were not always the smartest, but
technically
take the
I
cake.
didn't sign a contract. I bribed a few guards here and there to get aboard because I was looking to get out of the city. And here I am.
Oh, you bribed your way into the Freeman too?
In a matter of speaking, yes.
I did the same thing. It was a lot easier that way. Had to take out quite a big loan, but it's been worth it.
I,
Neither one of you are actual free men.
No,
I
thought
mean,
you
I
at
am a
least
free
were
man.
no, I'm from the far north.
I mean, we're done here, right?
I come
But I
from
heard
Clear
all about the
Beach.
Freeman, so I decided to come and learn.
We go unlock this up?
I don't know why he's here. I think he's actually on vacation and just got lost.
At the end of the day, I just want to play my flute, enjoy a good meal,
Oh shit, I have a desk.
maybe pilfer a few pockets, make a small, tidy sum.
There are better places to do those things than here.
Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing here, what the point is.
How
But-
tall is your character, James?
He's 5'7" and he's like 135 pounds. Like he's pretty lean and small.
I'm like 6'6". I'm gonna look down on you and be like, you are so small and so weak, and this desert is going to strip you raw.
I hope not. These clothes are expensive.
You'll have more things to worry about soon than your clothes.
My hair? Something gonna happen to it? And I'll just start fumbling. And just
I've heard it does get pretty windy out there, so yeah, probably your hair.
You will go out, and you will not care for yourself the way you should because you do not know your ass from your elbow. And you will be dried out within a day. And I might laugh, because at least you'll make a pretty mummy.
I mean, if we're to be in these machines, obviously we'll have some sort of protection, correct? We're not just gonna be thrown to the wilderness? Dive into the elements?
It's always such a... But
If you take care of yourself and prepare yourself beforehand, sure.
I'm always prepared. I have my flute at my side.
And I'm gonna pinch at some of the leather that's sewn together across what would be my collarbone. Now, you will need to get a suit similar to the one that I mutilated to make my skins.
There was another jumping puzzle here, but that was just the.
I'm
Otherwise,
wearing leather. I'll like open up my trench coat and lift my shirt, and it's just studded leather on the inside. I never let protection get in the way of style.
look at your arms.
More evidence.
Are they protected?
To an extent, to what I need.
Look at your
Oh,
face.
it's loud.
Good
Is there something
face.
wrong with it? Is there oil on it?
So much.
At this point, you guys hear what seems to be a loud alarm kind of going off. And then you kind of feel like the ground underneath you kind of like jerks suddenly. And then it jerks the other way. Then suddenly you kind of get this feeling of the city's moving, and it kind of fills with this weird ticking sound. Every other step. Tick, 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 tick.
I run out of the room and straight down to the engine room because I need to see how this thing works.
Well, as soon as you get outside, you can like make your way over to the edge of this city, and you do indeed see the ground beneath you moving as this city starts to slowly crawl its way out. It's definitely not fast. It's probably maybe about like maybe 10 miles an hour. But the city is indeed walking, making its way farther out into the desert. There's like these clouds of dust every now and again, and it seems like there's 3 feet stepping at the same time.
Oh, that's truly interesting. It's quite a feat that they managed to pull this off.
It's a monstrosity. So dirty. I mean,
Yes, but it's an entire city and it's moving.
I do have to give it to them. They know what they're doing, but couldn't you make it cleaner?
Make what clear?
You're paid for doing
The city.
Cleaner.
Maybe they just haven't had a chance to hire anyone yet.
I sincerely hope I'm not on the janitorial staff.
As you're saying this, you do see one of the legs. Looks like it starts to like collapse, and you almost hear like this cracking sound as what seems to be a bone snaps. And already there's a few people on the way down there, and you see like several sorts of like different mages or menders busy trying to like repair this leg, and it's just kind of like lifted off the ground, but the other 11 legs continue the city moving as they get to work on it.
Redundancy. I appreciate that.
But it's definitely not clean. You can almost see like a it's not nice repairs. It's very visceral when something goes wrong here. And as well as the smell after like that leg snaps, there's almost like this rotten decay that kind of wafts up the air.
I'm going to breathe in deeply. The smell of biofuel.
Oh,
Just,
I'll nose plugged.
it's so fresh and lovely, and the smell of progress, really. This is when I feel closest to the Stella too.
If you call this progress, I myself am this close to tossing my breakfast.
Why would you toss your breakfast? That is a waste.
Once again, just
Yeah, I got 4 more levels.
I'll just like look at the wall and just like mouth to myself.
Something else, right?
Walls do not have ears. You are aware of this, correct?
Oh goodness, it's retarded.
Vitality 2, endurance 2. I got still 4.
Please help this one.
Luck is garbage. Okay?
That's my job. That's kind of what I was hired for. Well, volunteered, but
If you can build the body, surely you can build the brain.
it built its own body, I think. Didn't you?
Oh, Goodness.
Other people built it first.
Gotcha.
I've been maintaining it ever since.
Oh, then you can.
And doing a
Yes.
A+ job.
I'm going back inside. I do not like to leave my flesh so exposed to the sun and heat.
We know, like as we're walking back inside, I'll just be chatting. Do we know what time we're leaving? Where we're going? Once again, coming back to the point, what we're doing with those walkers? Or are we
The
just going to
walkers-
sit in them?
The walkers are used as scouts for the whole city.
Yes, but scouts for what? As I said before.
So they can go out and check the surrounding area and make sure nothing is coming to attack.
So what you're saying is we're going into these horrific little machines, out into the desert, out into the elements.
Horrific,
sit there.
no, they are elegant feats of mechanicalism.
Bygones. You're saying that we're just going to sit in them until this lovely city, and I'll say lovely with a little bit of venom in my voice, get somewhere? That's our big game plan.
No! We go out in the day, patrol around, and come back.
But what?
Yeah, I don't think you know how scouts work.
I'm gonna try out this.
Yes, but if the city's moving, where is the city moving to? Are we staying
Ask
on the
the
city?
captain.
Goodness. And you said you've been here before.
I have been on other cities before. I am from. I'm not here.
One and all the same.
This is new-ish, new management city.
Goodness. Seems like I'll have to do everything myself. It's hard to find good help these days.
You have done nothing since we've gotten here, other than complain about us using the table.
Yes,
And the
and
smell.
like, I mean, if you were in my boots, would you not do the same? A
No.
lovely table for
No,
Food
food is optional. Repairs are mandatory.
optional for you, maybe. I have a rumbling in my belly.
Have
Well,
you
then
gotten
maybe
it
you
looked at? Perhaps the gears need to be recalibrated or oiled.
Not everyone is machine.
Right, you are impure, correct. I forgot.
And yet I could never forget that atrocity you call a mug. Thank you for giving me nightmares. And I'll turn on my heel and
It's
make
not
my way to the
that
house.
bad. I thought the new eye looked good.
It really is a nice shade.
Ariel,
Thank you.
out of character. Please
Yeah?
tell me you have like gentle repose. You have something?
Why?
I need you to scavenge battlefields and just start replacing your body parts as you go. I
No,
need
my
this.
character is actually, out of character. I'm not properly a warforged. It's based off of a warforged, but I still need to eat and everything. I'm a bioforged.
Get the dancer.
Oh, sick.
So my flesh parts are still living.
Yeah, me and
Mhm.
level.
It's just
And
been
like
kind
the
of.
hair that I have will still grow. I was literally created from a body that had been like badly destroyed and almost killed.
They're like, we can save you. We have the technology. And now you're the
Exactly.
$1 million man.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like Judge Dredd, you know? I'm mostly machine, but there's still some living bits.
Yeah, so like the main difference out of character is like they do need to eat and drink, but healing spells will work on them, and
Yeah.
they count as a construct as well as a humanoid.
I'm in between the two.
Yeah, so they get some weird resistances here and there, but at the same time, you know, it has its ups and it has its downs.
Yeah.
But that being said, you guys are heading back into your little building, and then
We
I would like-
already are. He's leaving the little building.
Yeah, I want to go talk to the captain.
okay, Fizzle, are you just going back to the building as well, or do you want to accompany?
Actually, I will go with them to the captain because I've got a question.
Solace?
Close.
Close.
Cyanide. Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Day.
Right, so
Cyrilidae.
you're following
Solace.
cyanide.
Before I leave the house, I do want to put on a disguise, since I'm perfect with disguise kit.
Okay.
I thought that I would have the hardest name here.
Nope.
What kind of disguise do you want?
Um,
Yeah, that spells.
Like, changed my hair color, cover the cover the tips of my ears, so I look more human than half elf. Just in case we pass by that other.
Okay,
Another
so you want to
half-elf.
look more human than half. All right, easy enough. And you guys start making your way through, and you already adventured here, and you have a rough idea of where he is, and you make your way to the center, and you go up the little sort of command tower, following the spiral staircase up, and you get to what seems to be a thick iron door, with a small little window to look in, and you see a few people in there. Two you recognize as the lead engineer as well as the captain, and then there's a few other people there that seem off to the side.
I would like to approach the captain.
All right, so you
Oh shit.
do you
wait.
knock on the door? Or you just opening and then walking in.
Let's roll for it. Let's see how power hungry I am. Not. I'm gonna knock it.
Alright.
He looks like a grumpy man.
All right, so you knock and you see like the captain like
Oh,
looks
no.
over at you, and then he
Lucky.
like just kind of like turns his eyes and looks back down, and it's a little bit of a pause. Pause gets a little longer, and then finally the door opens and you see the lead engineer Yurith as he like kind of like steps out, and he closes the door behind him, kind of like pushing you down a step slightly as he like occupies the space
Spell
himself.
roll.
There's what can I do for you?
You can see my
Just answer a couple questions here. Why am I here?
I believe you were traded to this crew as part of the security, part of the scouts. Captain really didn't get to choose you. Half of the crew was assigned when he took over Ground Shaker Tick Tick.
Not just using the X.
Oh, of course. But to what extent? We have the walkers. We will go and do our scouting duty. But what is the point? Where is the city going somewhere? Are we looking for something out in the desert?
We are indeed headed somewhere. The captain says we're supposed to be meeting a contact about 3 days here to the northwest. But he hasn't really said much else.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving the most information that I've been able to get out of anyone here.
It's
Actually,
look. Sorry, go ahead, Master Halfling.
Yurith, I actually do have a question related to our mission. What kind of things should we expect out in the desert?
Well-
Like, what kind of dangers?
Where's that X?
That being said, I was actually going to get into this as you two are new to this way of life. It's a busy life, the Freeman life. We have new scenery every day. We get to travel vast distances. We're usually keeping our eyes open for whatever we can to kind of collect. That's the good thing of having a moving city. There's a few things that we definitely do want to check out if we see. Fallen ground shakers, for one. Usually, if one of these things, God forbid us, such as, is lost, they usually leave things behind. So usually we stop and we investigate those. There's various structures, some people that have tried to make a living here that we would look into. And besides that, if you're a bit more of the get up and go, or if you have the support of one of the larger cities, Ithril, Dalgoth, they usually have plenty to provide if you're able to take it. But Tick Tick, we're mostly going to try to stick to the smaller fruits, if you will. So, we'll hope for a lost ground shaker. Hopefully we'll find some runes, or maybe we'll even find some other Freemen that haven't quite made the jump to the ground shakers. Besides that, it's a desert. There's your average sort of trouble here and there, but nothing should really bug Tick unless you're on one of the smaller scout vessels. Watch out for Ankh hags, I would say. There's also a large Freeman population somewhere to the north, but hard really to tell where they'll pop up from. And yeah, I think Flu is supposed to be up, and he kind of like turns his head and he points up off into the distance, and you see what seems to be a very dark cloud back to the south the way you came, with a very thick chain leading down. That one there, Flu, it's one of the few main floating cities. They can usually direct you if you're able to get the look of someone and you have someone with a sending message. You can usually ask them for directions. Besides that, they might get a message now and again trying to bribe you for some information if they see something that could be troublesome for you. Sometimes you'll get a warning or not. It's best to buy insurance, but I don't think the captain has any insurance from Flu this time. Does that help, Master Halfling?
A bit. Follow-up question. I'm a little bit low on some of my supplies. Where should I go buy some?
Manny, the quartermaster, or trumpet, if you will, he's quite meticulous in his notes. He's also comes from one of the other vessels, so I think he's still kind of getting a hang of being here on Tick. I mean, it's been, 2 hours, 1 hour since we've left, really been able to settle in, but he should have pretty much all you need if you're looking for raw materials. Same with if we do find something, or you find something out there, bring it to him.
Thank you. Well, we'll see what we can do. Crocodile, do you have any other follow-up questions, or are you done?
That was it on my behalf. I just want to know what I'm doing here.
Well,
Existing.
if we find something, you will be set out in one of the smaller ground shakers you procured. I believe you got the one of the gyros, and you also got one of the pedal foots. So.
Oh, where is Manny right now?
He should be about on the second deck, just about underneath us if you were to just take this staircase straight down.
Well, see your bill. I'm gonna go see this Trumpet Manny person, and then I'm gonna head back to our place.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same. I'll just head back.
Ooh, maybe he has some really strong hair gel for you. Then you won't have to worry about your hair. Huh?
You're not wrong. That could be very, very useful to me.
Brilliance has its uses.
That Yurth kind of like gives you guys like a little nod and goes, well, I bid you a good night. Stay out of the sun. And with that, he opens the metal door with those last words of wisdom and closes it after him. And you guys are left alone on this metal staircase.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, hey, he's actually quite useful.
that sword needed.
That was more than I expected to get out of anything.
Well, I'm gonna go resupply. And I walk off to go find Trumpet Manny.
Alright.
I'll probably accompany you.
Alright, so you guys follow this spiral staircase descending this time. You get to the ground level that continues down. It gets a bit more humid as you get down, especially now that the city is moving and the sound of like the ticking gets louder, and as well as now there's almost like a bassy percussion now that you're lower and closer to the moving legs. Once you get down here, it seems like there's quite a few doors, but this entire place has been more or less opened up, and there's just neat rows of things, right? And there's a few like hanging signs with different like words, some of them in common, some of them just having a sound accompanying with it. But you also see what seems to be quite a few halflings down here, or more of the shorter races, for some odd reason. But over at a desk tucked into one of the corners, you can see him over top of this grid of crates, shall we say. He's gray-skinned, has two large tusks, and he's currently like scribbling over a few things. And with that, he kind of stands up with a clipboard, and he just kind of like moves his way through these crates. It's difficult for him, being as wide as he is, being a Loxodon, which is an elephant person. But he manages to manage, turning sideways as he needs to, inquiring with a few people as he goes.
That must be him. You think? Maybe? I'll bet. I'll go over to him. Excuse me, are you Manny?
Looks down towards you over this clipboard and goes, "Yes. Can I help you?"
Depend. You're the quartermaster, right? I was told to talk to you about supplies.
Yes. Yes, what, are you bringing something? Taking something?
Buying, hopefully.
Oh, buying, it depends on if you intend to use it for yourself or if it's for repair or something like that. Most things can be logged and scribbled away.
Oh, well, I was just hoping to make a couple items for the scouting that we'll be doing.
Personal use it is, so personal use it is. Metal, biomass, what materials?
I need some metal canisters, some vials of various sizes, some nails or caltrops, some black powder, and some purified sodium.
All of those, easy enough. Black powder being the most expensive of the items listed. This canisters, are you hoping for recycled or pure?
Oh, ooh, they need to. Oh boy. Let me see both of them, then I can decide. It really depends on the integrity of the canister.
And he looks around, spotting a sign, and he just kind of gestures for you to follow as he meanders his way through these. Not exactly taking a direct route, but within like the next minute or two, you buy a crate and just kind of like produces a little crowbar from his belt, pops it underneath, and with a single hand pops it open. And he takes a few steps over to another crate and does the same thing. And he shows you these two canisters. One of them seems almost with a weird translucent and a weird kind of red hue to it. And the other one seeing much dingier and a bit of a rougher texture. And he hands them towards you. And he goes, the recycled one is about, well, say 70% metal, the other 30 being recycled bio. The other one there is just wrought iron, so a bit brittle. Do either of these suit your purposes?
Oh, Master Halfling?
Longford sword, long helmet again.
Master
I think
Halfling.
Justin is having a stroke.
He's doing another
I can do
spiel.
again.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go. You're
Yeah,
back.
there.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic.
The right wrought iron one is actually quite useful for what I have in mind, so I'll take that one.
Okay. Be about a silver canister.
Oh wow.
No, I thought
But if you return it once you're done and we can recycle it, we can give you half of that price back.
Oh no. I'll. How many of these do you have?
Got a couple of crate full, so
Oh, I'll take 10.
10.
Nope.
Easy enough. And he
I stepped
reaches
on it.
down and he starts collecting them into his arms. And he just kind of looks around. And he looks at a halfling and he goes, "You! Give me a basket." The guy wanders off and soon enough shows up and he lowers the stuff into what seems to be a. You want to say it's wicker, but it looks almost like dried tendons that have been like wrapped around each
My
other.
stamina, I've
Ew.
basically running on one hit.
And
A
he
time after his
continues walking. He's like,
If he hits
black
almost-
powder, how much are you hoping for?
Let me put it this way. For all of these supplies that I need, I've got like 200 gold that I can burn through.
Big spender, big spender. Okay, so you want like a
You want the
barrel
slippery
then,
rope
or are
and
you
you
hoping
hit 'em.
for?
I died.
How large of a barrel?
Well, that depends.
I pull out my bag of holding and open it
You're
up.
blindly-
Can I fit it in this?
Looks at you and he goes, "It's just a bag of holding, right?"
Yes.
Kind of like sticks his hand in there. Well, for about, call it 50 gold, we could probably give you 5 pounds.
Oh, that'll do quite nicely.
Alright, 50 gold for this, and he looks at you again, and then he looks at the basket he's holding, and he just kind of like dumps the things in, and he just sets the basket on one of the crates, snaps his finger and points at it as he like makes his way to the black powder and gets you one of those. Then after that, you said you wanted sulfuric acid or sodium, or what was
Oh.
it?
Purified sodium.
Purified sodium. Easy enough, and it roughly continues going along this way, him leading you to one crate, showing you what it is. If you have any measurements you have in mind, or if you want to just tell me roughly how much you'd like to spend, and I can tell you the amounts.
Just a couple pounds. I actually don't need a lot of it.
Call it about 2 gold for 3 pounds.
All right, that'll do. 3 pounds. And just because I don't want to be like shopping all day, various size vials, like 20 gold. I know
Yeah.
they're actually kind of expensive.
Yep, that'll work, and you can, if you want, you can check the handbook, or I can tell you the prices based on that.
Yeah, I think it's like a gold each. I'll check.
I will check as well. Race you to it. Yeah, it is about a gold per, and each one can hold 4 ounces of liquid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, crocodile. Unless you need anything, I'm. Oh, right. Hair gel or something for his hair so that it doesn't get all blown about in the desert.
I am definitely a man of appearance, and if you had something that would give me a little structure to my hair without gooping it up with oil or blood, I would be much obliged. I'd be very happy.
Well, got a few options for you. We could shave it, we could get you a hood, or perhaps we could find some sort of glue.
On second hand, I think I'll be fine. I'll deal with it as it comes.
I mean, the glue's soluble, and at the very least you could use spit, and I'm sure you can find a few people willing to spit on you. I've done it in my time. Why are you laughing?
Never mind. Thank you for your time.
Well, if you change your mind, and with that, I take it you guys make your way back up heading home, or is there any other quick little stops you'd like to make?
I'm
no.
done.
I'll go back to those.
It takes a little bit shopping along this way, making your way through, and as you come up, it is starting to be dawn. The dark blue sky slowly giving into like waves of purple as the sun starts to come up, and you can see quite a few people now scrambling around, and they're like trying to like drag tarps across and stuff like that. You get a feeling during the night most people are probably going to try to, sorry, during the day most people are going to try to like stay inside and out of the sun, but there will be like a few shaded spots here and there. And with that, you guys make your way back home, and you find still there. What do you think you're doing now that you've had the house alone?
Well, for starters, I would have started like setting things up, organizing the house in a way that I think it should be organized.
Okay.
Like moving the table a bit, so then the food half of the table is like right up nearby the kitchen, and the work half of the table has a lot of space for us to use.
Okay.
I also want to start setting up all of my notes on my bedroom wall, and just generally like making myself at home, really.
Okay. So you guys come in, and it has a
If-
bit
if-
more of a
if the
homely
others have,
house
like-
feel.
If the others have brought their stuff in, but they haven't finished like putting it away, I'm going to go into their rooms and like put their stuff away too. Like fold up their garments and put them in the dresser, sort of shit, you know?
Okay. I mean, yeah, you could probably have gotten through quite a bit of that. So you guys, like
Yeah,
I said,
and I'm also going to use my calligraphy skill to paint everybody's names on their door in like really fancy writing.
Alright, so yeah, you guys get home to a bit more of a put together space with your rooms clearly marked, and you get inside and it looks like everything's been like nicely stowed. You also notice something odd about most of the stuff in here. There are indeed dresses and stuff, but also all of them seem like they have like some sort of leather belt or a strap that goes from one side to the other so you can belt everything closed. And as well as like all of the walls inside, instead of being like just shelves, there's like a shelf with like a cargo net in front of it to like hold things on. It's very easy to squirrel things away and make sure things don't fall or come loose while the city is moving.
Well, like what you find on a ship, then.
Exactly. Very similar to that. You'll find various rigging, straps, belts. Even like thinking back on it now that you've like realized this, there's like handrails along a bunch of the streets, you know. There's always something nearby to grab onto, hold onto, or clip yourself to, as well as like, what's your passive perceptions?
Crappy.
16.
12.
And Soliday?
Cirliday.
What's yours?
My passive is 18.
18. You've noticed, same with you, Fizzle, but not as much. You've more or less noticed the rails and stuff, but Soliday, you've noticed like a bunch of the Fremen usually have big belts, and some of them have ropes with hooks, as if they could like attach themselves to something on like a quick last minute notice.
That's actually something I wanted to ask. Out of character, are we like on a? Is everything just on like metal catwalks, or like you said we could see the ground moving beneath us as the city's moving? Is it open air and we're just on catwalks between buildings, or is it like a glass floor?
Closer to the outside, there seems to be like the metal rails, but closer to the inside where you have various decks, you can almost like look down and see into the other decks below you.
Okay, so it's kind of staggered.
That
Okay.
being said, if you guys are going down for the night or have anything else you'd like to do, we can take a small break here, unless there's any
Wouldn't it
last
be
minute
going
things.
down for the day?
Yes, down for the day. Good catch.
Yeah,
good
because we'll
catch.
be doing our scouting on night shift.
You'll find
presumably.
out. Right now it's
Okay.
turning into the day, and it seems like everyone's getting ready to tuck in.
Okay. Then I suppose that's what we'll do.
All right. Well, we will take a quick 15-minute break, and for anyone watching, we'll see you guys back in 15 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
No.
See you guys then. Hello, welcome back to Tales of the Lich. Last we left off, the group has all made their way down for the day, taking cover from the house sun, and they're just currently finishing up their long rest. That being said, all of you guys will wake up the next evening as the sun is
Uh,
once again starting to go. Is there anything
Connor.
you... Yes,
You're not live on Twitch, correct?
I am live on Twitch.
I refreshed the page, but it says you're offline for me.
Oh well, we'll just keep it going nonetheless, as we still have a recording going, so not
Alright.
the end of the world. So
So,
that being said, you guys are awaking again now that the sun is on its way out, and once again the night is starting to take over to more palatable temperatures.
I would like to make myself breakfast of sausages and eggs, but I got distracted partway through and burnt them to a crisp. So like the bottom of the eggs is like black, and the outside of the sausages it's crunchy. You can hear me crunching as I'm eating. This is not the food that a sane person would eat. But I don't care anymore.
Alright, so there's definitely a bit of a chewing sound and a crunching sound coming from your bio companion. What about you, Cyrodiil? What are you up to?
Currently, I'll just be lazing about, probably munching on anything I could throw together from my bag, so rations of the like. I haven't had a chance to look into food or anything on here. Not like I'd want any of their food.
Fair enough. So you stick with the more common
Tried and true
food.
method.
Yeah, something you feel comfortable with, where you know where it's come from, what it is, what it involves, so on and so forth for various reasons. You know, it's probably on par with the super crunchy sausages. And what about you, Fizzle? What are you eating?
I wake up and immediately get some coffee brewing, make some toast, morning abulations.
Evening abulations.
Whichever it is.
Okay.
Can you honestly trust any of the food that we're eating here? How do I know that it's not recycled biomass and meat?
Well, if it is, you really can't tell.
Still, I would not want to risk it. One moment you're having a lovely muffin, the next you're biting into a finger. Not for me.
Oh, please.
How
They're
will
gonna
you
put
even know
fingers
if you
whole.
try?
They strip off the meat and use the bones for machines. You don't eat a bone.
Yeah, you grind it up and make bread.
That's exactly what I was saying. You never know. You can never be too careful.
I take another big bite of my toast.
I'll just shiver.
I take a particularly crunchy bite of my sausage. I think I found fingernail.
Oh, goodness.
That's Justin doing that. Oh.
While you guys are enjoying your breakfast, you do suddenly hear a rapping sound against the door.
I walk up to the door and I knock on it.
You hear an elven voice just kind of carry over. It's definitely a little short, and you just hear them go, open up.
Oh, okay. I thought we were playing a game. Oh, all right. I open up the door then.
Before you is a tall elf. She's covered in various tattoos, most of them seeming to be cogs and whatnot, and you could probably make a couple of guesses as to what it is. that she's trying to portray with this, but it all seems mechanical in nature, her tattoos. And on her belt, she has what seems to be a set of hammers and some ropes and whatnot in typical Freeman guard. Um, you guys, I believe, were hired. We actually have the first job for you. So once you're done with your breakfast, would you like to join me, or shall I wait for you here and show you to where we will be going?
Oh, well, I only need a few moments. I immediately start grabbing anything that I would need and shoving it into the bag of holding.
I suppose I'm ready to go whenever.
I'm going to sit there crunching my way through the last of my fried eggs, stand up, pick up my bag that I didn't bother unpacking too much from, and just be like, I'm good.
Fantastic. Then please just follow me. And she takes you guys into the streets of Tick Tick. She's very precise in the way she goes, as if she's planned this out. And within a few minutes, you're at that same spiral staircase, and she takes it down, and you guys actually go down to what seems to be the third level. And this one, you can see the two machines, the two earth shakers that you were tasked to acquire before. And she turns towards you guys at this point, and she goes, "So, we actually, off in the distance, have spotted a bit of salvage to take a look at. And you are the lucky people that will be going out and taking this look and then catching up with us. You should have no problem catching up with the city, but I would say don't let it get out of sight. We haven't quite reached it. It is about 2 miles off."
What exactly are we looking for? I mean,
Salvage. Anything useful.
I suppose you'll be the one lifting it then?
What do you mean?
I'm surely not getting my hands dirty.
Don't worry. I'll deal with it, Mistress.
Well, thank you. That's all I wanted.
If you want,
Which direction is this salvage in?
It is directly north a little bit to the east. If you want, I could also get together another crew, but I was told you guys are supposed to be quite competent at what it is. It's another ground shaker, much smaller than this, maybe 10 people in total. It looks as if it's gone down, and maybe we've gotten lucky and we found it before the Purity Stone has managed to wilt away. But there might be some trouble.
Can we get an extra muscle? Somebody able to lift their weight? Considering these two won't be much help there?
Sure.
I'm here for emotional support.
Yes,
Morale, ever heard of it?
I believe I can find someone. You just want someone big then, yes?
Somebody big, sturdy, and able to lift anything heavier than me.
Very well. I will let you guys be. Pick your end. You know, take the ground shaker that you want. You pick the damn things. I'm trusting that you look them over, and I will go find someone to accompany you for the rest of the salvage. And with that, she just kind of like turns on her heels, and you hear her like walking back up the staircase.
I am assuming I'll have to pilot the thing, considering neither of you probably know.
Never done it before, but I could try.
Perhaps another time.
Oh.
With your skill with explosions and fire, I'd rather keep it away from us. Other people? Sure. I don't really mind. But not me.
Quick, out of character question, what were the modifications made to the scimitar?
Let me pull that up real quick. I guess we should have done this over the break. That was Radiant Weapon. +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
Okay.
Bonus action, you can cause it to shed a bright light in a 30-foot radius. Dim light for another 30.
Okay, so it can light up now.
Mm-hmm. And 4 charges.
Does that just take an action, or?
Bonus action.
Okay. And
Uh,
how often? Just once, or?
Any. Like, as many times as you want for the light.
Okay.
It has 4 charges. Takes the reaction to use.
Nice.
As a reaction after you get hit by an attack, you can expend 1 charge and cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of their next turn, unless they succeed on a Constitution saving throw. And I'll have it handy so you don't have to like have everything jotted down and written.
Nice. I like this. I like this a lot, especially because I was thinking about taking the moon sword
yeah,
magic
yeah.
item because it can light things up as well.
That's always a solid choice.
Yeah, but I went with a bag of holding instead because I'm like, yeah, I didn't think we would have much carrying capacity being we had a bard and an artificer, and I thought I'd be strongest in strength.
Yeah, that's why I took the bag of holding. But I can switch that tomorrow.
Yeah. Having a couple of bags of holding around, never a bad thing, especially considering we're going on salvages. So
Yeah.
True.
you can get more magical items later on anyways.
So, while you guys are standing there and kind of just going over the equipment that was passed back and forth and making sure command words are set.
I'm going to show him a little bit of how the machine runs.
Okay.
Just beginning to train him so he can start, like, learning how to drive as well.
Make a perception check for me, Fizzle.
Perception. Okay, where's my... That's a good D20. Do I even have perception?
Or it could be investigation if you're trained in that instead. Whatever's higher.
Yeah, let's use investigation then. Oh, that's not so good. 13.
13. You try to follow along. It's a little difficult, but you do understand how to turn it on. And it's, which machine did you choose, by the way? Did you choose the gyro fan, or are you going with the paddle foot?
Oh no, I want the fast one.
I thought we were taking the one that clacks, the one that you need to wind up.
Damn it.
Not
No,
the fan.
you guys chose the fan with the alarm that switches back and forth.
No, I didn't want that one particularly because I wanted the one that you like. I said I wanted the one that you need to
You want a leapfrogger? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will change that to a leapfrogger. Okay.
So that's the ones that I like the sound of.
Okay.
And I didn't think these guys would do very well with the G-force on that.
Okay. So there's the leapfrogger, which can go over longer distances and can help you up over difficult terrain. Or you should go for the paddlefoot, which is a lot faster, but it kind of can only go on the sand really well, or slight ups and downs. Which one are you guys taking?
What's the terrain around us?
Desert, sand, dunes. You guys are still deep into the desert, and there isn't much else to see at this point besides the dunes.
Well, is it kind of like dry savanna, or is it actually like desert,
I said, sand dunes.
Okay.
Probably take the paddlefoot one then.
Okay, so you're showing him the controls to the paddlefoot, and like I said, you get a little bit of understanding. The controls aren't as complex as it would be in some of the others, as this one pretty much you just go and there's different dials and stuff to set the speed and make sure everything goes. So maybe you're not ready to drive it, but you definitely feel like 1 or 2 more looks and maybe seeing them actually pilot it would give you a good head start. And as you're going over this, you do hear the sounds of 2 sets of boots making their way down the stairs with like that distinctive metal clink. And looking over that way, you see the elf has returned, as well as what seems to be a human who's very broad in the shoulders. He's wearing what seems to be a cloth suit. He has a giant sword across his back with like a wrench on the end of it. And yeah, he seems like a strong guy. Black hair, everything slicked back and very, very oiled. And he also has a beard that like comes to a very fine point. As well, like you could almost guess he's added like a pound or two with just oil and grease to try to
So
keep his
he's
hair.
actually glued his hair down, unlike Cell.
You could assume that, yes.
Yeah, see? Gorilla glue can be useful.
You're muted.
You're not likely to see that in my hair. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Human looks at you and he gives you like this weird like little goes. He goes, "Nah, just keep away from the fires."
And what happens if this machine catches fire?
Got
The
more
machine
problems than
catches
missing
fire.
eyebrows, don't we?
Exactly. My hair will be the least of my concerns. And you just kind
Yes,
of like
but if they find my body, then my hair will be scorched off.
find your body, you'll recycle just as well with or without the hair.
Oh,
And
goodness.
Crawls his way up onto this thing next to you guys, and he goes, "Call me Dovin. Nice to meet you. I was told I'm here to help you lift some things, and hopefully we'll get on in and get on out before they keep on coming, and maybe we'll be able to get them out there and get those into the recycler. Paddlefoot's a good choice, actually. Hoping for something a bit more pizzazzy than this, but it'll do, right?"
As long as it gets me in and out safely, I suppose this will do.
So I'm going to turn to my little friend. Say, so, who was the first person you ever bedded?
Me?
No, my little friend.
Oh, Fizzle.
Oh, the first person? Oh, wow, yeah, that was quite some time ago. Why do you need to know?
Needs a name. Seems as good a name as any, don't you think?
Oh, well, there was this cute little... Oh, what was she? Savannah! That was her name!
Well, let's hope Savannah makes the trip today, don't we?
It's a weird name for
Take
a
a seat.
machine. Dovin goes over to one of the seats and he straps himself in. It's again, it has like the giant paddles, four on each side, kind of like arrayed in a circle. Besides that, there seems to be some sort of counterweight that kind of like keeps it standing upright. And besides that, it's just like this giant metal can lined with seats and a single glass pane on the front. But it seems like very, very thick glass. And once you're inside, you can like look out, and the top part of it is like the same weird composite material. And it's weird now that you've been out here and you've kind of touched the metal. Anything that's pure metal gets very hot in the sun, but the composite material seems to almost like blacken, almost as if it's burning up after a little bit in the sun. And then it's usually replaced at some point.
So I'm gonna gesture to the two of you. Other side, balance out the weight, yeah?
I
Okay.
suppose, as you command, I'll give a little bow.
Dovin goes, "Yep. Good call, good call." And he kind of like cracks his knuckles, and then he like takes his sword off and he like just puts it on the ground and he puts his foot on top of it as he buckles himself in.
I'm going to make sure my two companions are buckled in properly, help them out. So if we end up eating shit, they have advantage to not fly out of the ship.
Okay, you can definitely hope
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
Yes, that would be kind of bad.
Gotta keep track of you two. Make sure you're
Well,
At
you're
least
not
morale is
flying.
on the up.
the good news is this one, as I described, is like a standing can with just like a counterweight coming out of the back. I'll try to get some drawings of these for the next session, but it is enclosed, so instead of flying out, you'll just bounce around the inside. You
Oh,
know.
is that all?
Yeah, that's all. It's
It's like an AT-AT with a giant, with a fat ass.
yeah, basically. And then it just has these giant paddles. But with that, you guys get in and you watch as the elf like moves to the front, and she like waves towards you and then gives you a thumbs up and waits for you to give it back.
Okay. Once I've checked them in and sat down and strapped myself in, I give her a thumbs up back, and I guess we deploy.
Yeah, she walks over to what seems to be a console of some sort, and she seems to like her back's to you as she like presses some buttons with it, spins a couple of things, and then it's almost like underneath you the thing starts to lower, and you guys are almost on like this massive ramp. It doesn't quite make it all the way to the ground, but it gets you down to about 5 feet away, and this
So
is
a bit of a bump there.
yeah a bit of a bump.
I was expecting just a hot drop like 100 feet.
Some of them will, but not a paddle, because if this thing flips over, you have a weight, and it's once it goes down, they're very hard to get back up. So,
I
So
suppose we're here.
I'm gonna start piloting us in the direction of the scavenge.
alright, so you do what you're supposed to do, and you manage to make a safe little drop. And the city continues to walk this entire time, almost passing over you as you go. And then you kind of like skirt around the back of the legs. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, how tall is the walking city like? If we're being deployed on a on a wheelie system.
So
Wheelie
the,
system.
the
Jeez, my brain.
lowest part is probably about 25, 30 feet off of the ground.
Okay.
But then the actual thing, like each layer, is probably about 7 feet. So it's quite tall. And then the tower at the very top would be about 70, 80 feet up in the air.
Okay. I was imagining like much bigger cities, but that's cool for reference.
This one, like I said, is only for a crew of about 50 to 100. There are very, very, very big ones that can hold, hundreds, thousands of people.
Yeah, I was thinking like Mortal Engines, like that, like just
That would be the
monstrous.
great shakers.
Yeah, if you want, you can actually roll a history check for this.
Sure. I am proficient in history. That is a 17 plus 3 plus 2, so 22.
22. You're aware, like, there's quite a few bigger cities. Some of them are close to that. One of them that we won't go into the names, but there's supposed to be a Triton male named Nawal, and he's actually trying to bring water into the desert, and he supposedly has some flotillas out there that can hold tens of thousands. There's one that's very mercenary. She's a human, and she's actually started to collect fallen apart ones, and she's combining them, and that's how she's growing her cities. Flu as well is doing very big, but it doesn't do a lot of good times growing. But yeah, there's about 3 or so people here that work quite well towards building massive, massive cities. The biggest one probably being Nawal and his flotilla, floating cities, as well as Corinne and her ability to just collect trash and bring it in. Rumors has it that she probably has close to about 100,000 or more Freeman.
Wow.
So don't get in a fight with her, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but this one, like I said, it's a very small one. It's, smaller, so it tends to be faster. But as you're thinking about this and you get a good view at this thing, and you think to yourself, you've probably seen half the people on the ship after a little walk around. Um, and then with that, the paddle foot just kind of goes around, taking a wide berth, being nice and respectful, not wanting to get stepped on by its own city as you guys move off towards the northeast. You overtake the city soon enough, going almost double its speed. Um, it's a little jarring going up. Sometimes you feel like you won't make a dune, and then vice versa going down. There's a weird balance that has to
I'm
strike to
gonna die.
not tip forward. Um,
Should I be rolling for this at all?
are you proficient with
Well, yeah, with land vehicles.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what it should be. It could be Dex or it could be Wisdom, depending on you. It could be your ability to adapt quickly and make sure you don't fuck up, or it could be years of experience and you can add your proficiency to this.
I'm thinking proficiency and dexterity
Yeah.
for like reaction time.
Sure.
That is 18 on the die plus 16, 18, 19, 20, 23.
23. Yeah.
No, 24 because I've got two even numbers.
Easy enough. You managed to make your way through these dunes, making sure to never really take them head on. And if you do start to, you quickly adjust, taking more of a bladed approach to them to not ever have your full weight leaning down one of these dunes. And off in the distance, you do see what seems to be a sparkle of light, and you know it's the sun reflecting off of a metallic surface. And you come up to it, right? This thing just all the way down. And about 30 minutes into this, you can see what seems to be another crawler. Its legs kind of splayed off the side, and it looks like it's tipped. And you can see there's a help banner hanging, and the door is wide open into this vessel. It looks like it was also mostly encapsulated, and there's pieces of tarp that are just kind of flapping in the wind.
Okay. I'm going to slow my approach as I get closer. And park about 20 feet away from it.
Okay. Easy enough where you bring it up and you can just kind of turn it to a halt. The way to get in and out of this, if you remember, I mentioned the weight on the back. There's a ramp that will lower, and it'll also just kind of lay across this weight, and you almost have a long walkway in and out of this. So, do you want to face it towards the building, or do you want to face the ramp towards and back up towards it?
Yeah, let's face our ass towards it.
Okay. Alright. Dovin is already unbuckling himself, and he picks up his sword, and he's puts it back across his back. Goes, well, let's get this done with.
Sure thing, red shirt.
Excuse me.
I'm going to sniff as we get there, and I'm going to take a moment. 1 second. Gotta make sure we ain't bringing anything nasty back with us. And I'm going to take a yew leaf out, rub it in my hands, and then rub the paste on my teeth, casting detect poison and disease as I do so, which is concentration for 10 minutes.
Okay.
At a 30-foot radius.
Okay, and it's resistance to these, or?
Detect.
Detect. And it's detect poison and disease.
I can detect the location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of me. I can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
Okay, I mean...
It can penetrate most barriers as well.
In 30 foot?
Yeah.
You don't really get too much. There's maybe a few little inklings of maybe a scorpion off buried in the sands someplace to your right. But you don't think it's here to cause any trouble, and it's just trying to live its best life. Can I get perception checks from everyone?
Yes, you can. I mostly just want to make sure we aren't bringing anything weird back to town, essentially.
Also, I wanted to pull out my flute and give a quick little tune, and in a sing-song voice say, "Please don't get us killed," and give the three of them bardic inspiration.
Okay. What did we get for perceptions?
24.
24.
30-20.
Wow, you guys are alert. Dovin seems a little preoccupied as he's like kind of like bobbing his head along with this flute, and it's like, yeah, I won't get you killed. But you guys can hear the sound of what seems to be buzzing flies coming from within this metallic structure. A bunch of it seems like it's like slowly starting to collapse as some of the more composite materials have started to like burn and sag, and the whole thing is starting to look like it's almost like a half melted metal sculpture.
For
Good
what
news
it's
for
worth,
you guys. Probably ain't gonna be no survivors to challenge our salvage rights.
while I am here, I may as well offer my talents. I have a bit of sticky fingers, but I'm also very good at opening locks.
Well, at least you're honest. Who wants to go first?
I'll
Not
keep
me.
up front.
I will.
You stay behind me.
Nope, I'm already running ahead.
Quite the girth on Master Halfling. You can almost hear the sound as he's running.
I'm gonna shout after him. If you get hurt, I ain't healing you if you're ahead of me.
Get hurt what?
If you get,
you get
hurt,
hurt.
I'm not healing you if you're ahead of me.
Oh, it's okay. I can heal myself.
Alright, so you.
I am playing a tank, sir.
So,
I'm going to gently cower behind the big metal one.
okay, Dovin will kind of like just move up beside you as you start going, and you guys start to make your way there. Fizzle, though, you are well ahead of your group at this point, throwing caution to the wind in its sake for expedience, and you get to what seems to be a secondary door inside, almost like this was some sort of airlock. It's weird because everything's like kind of slanted, but based on the way this door opens, it looks like a sliding door, and you could just pull it down towards what is now the ground and step over if you wanted.
I attempt to do so.
Make a strength check for me. Or if you want, you could do like an intelligence check to see why
Oh,
it's
wow.
stuck.
Oh,
Good
this
luck,
is like
Sweepins.
a 17 strength check.
17? I mean, it's a little stuck, but you know your way around machines, and you just kind of like jiggle it just right, and it's almost like you hear like the pressure within kind of like tss, as it then suddenly just kind of like slides into place. This would be hard for most people to fit through without turning sideways, but for halflings such as yourself, you're able to like step on in to this slightly slanted building, everything again sort of sagging from the top. With your perception, you do hear weird, almost like scratching sounds or like weird little sounds echoing along these metal corridors coming towards you. But it could be any number of things. It could be something stuck. It could be who knows what.
I yell back. I think we've got some rats in here. This place might be infested.
Have I gotten close enough to him yet?
Did you slow down to say this, or are you keeping a brisk pace to keep your lead?
Oh, well, honestly, both of them have a faster walking speed than I do.
They do, but it's
In
a
fact,
matter
I'm
of like
about
10
30.
versus like 30 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're sprinting the entire way, you will.
Yeah.
I'll
So,
slow down a little bit, yeah.
alright, then you know, as you say this, they're already at the doorway behind you, but they have a harder time having to like duck down and like almost like limbo their way through it sideways.
I would like to attempt to like clap him on the back of the head, and he's quiet.
What?
There could be walking dead among us.
Dovin just kind of like nods
What,
his
a
head.
red shirt? No, he's fine.
The dead come awake in places like this.
Yeah.
You don't want to wake an entire graveyard, do you?
Dovin just kind of leans forward. And,
mention that.
Dovin says, when it comes to the Fremen, the more bio the city, the more necro magic you kind of use, gentle repose and stuff. Supposed to be a stone in here that you have to keep pure to drain it, but with that gone, the necro magic just kind of builds and builds, and whatever dies kind of comes back to life after a couple of days.
Goodness, no.
Yeah,
That's horrific.
easy enough. You just purify the stone and you keep the radiance buffers up. There's several ways of dealing with it.
We don't know how long this place has been rotting in the sun, though. Could be any number of things walking around by now.
Can I roll a perception check since Master Halfling pointed it out?
Yeah, you can do that.
So that one is a 23 for perception.
23. You hear the same weird sort of like banging or kind of like scratching sounds. It doesn't seem to have any sort of pattern though. It seems like it stops and sometimes it sounds like it's closer, sometimes it sounds like it's farther.
Yeah, see? Rats.
There is an odd sound here, but I still think it's best we'd be on our guard. I'm going to just open my hand on the... I'm just going to open the wood on the back of my hand and open up my hand crossbow and feed a bolt into it.
I'm gonna start making my way towards where I think the purity stone would be kept first, because I want to check on that and see, like, get an idea of what condition this place is in.
Roll a survival check with advantage.
Survival with advantage.
Dolan's like
21.
21. Alright. Dovin quickly speaks to us. We could also head to what's probably the hall and just grab our shit and get out. Maybe they were kind and they sealed themselves in their rooms before they died.
Can't be sure, though. And I'd rather not be surprised on our way out.
But as you're kind of talking, probably in more hushed tones,
Yeah.
you make your way through. And again, it's a fairly small ship, and it's just kind of like a corridor lined. There seems to be a staircase that leads up, and you see like a hatch. And then there's another one that like looks like it goes down, and you take the down one, in this case, almost to your left. And it's this weird like little ladder, and you kind of go sideways, and it's an awkward maneuver to make. But you come down into what seems to be a mostly flesh colored room. This one, it's almost like gray with decay here and there, and the smell is terrible. I'll actually need all of you that goes down here to make a con saving throw.
$16.
That's a 2.
2. As soon as this door opens, Cyrodiil? Was I right?
Cyrilidae.
Cyrilidae. Jesus Christ. Cyrilidae. You just can't take it. You know, the biofuel was one thing, the outside of this was another, but after this, it smells like a corpse that's been left in the hot sun. And it's just humid and it's gross, and you almost like... First the smell hits you, and then you almost swear there's a change in temperature as like this weird sickness kind of wafts over you. Your brow starts to sweat, and the next thing you know, you're puking. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Dovin kind of like takes a step back, and he like pats you on the back. He's like, fucking, you go in front. Keep that away from me. As he's like patting you on the back. Get her all out.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at this weak, fleshy being.
And you go down into this. And do you have dark vision?
No, but my scimitar does light up now, so you know.
Right, are you gonna light
So,
up?
flashlight. Yeah, I'm gonna flick one arm, and my hand disappears into my forearm, and this blade comes out instead. And with another motion, twisting one of the panels on my arm to access a thing, I'm going to flick on the lighting mechanism that had been installed.
Okay. You see what seems to be a person that's like strapped themselves in, and it looks like they've slowly started to like waste away at this point. Their skin kind of like hanging off of their face, and they just kind of look at you, and their jaw starts moving, but they've like strapped themselves down. In front of them, you see what seems to be a little hand generator that they kind of like stopped cranking at some point and has a cord that leads into one of the walls. You see various components laid out in front of them, and then in the middle of the room on some sort of pedestal, you see this very dark stone that you know is supposed to be white. In machine speak, this person that strapped themselves in, you just see a sign that just says sorry. And the zombie kind of looks at you, its teeth just clacking
Just meh.
as it stares at you. And it kind of like reaches towards you.
I'm going to walk up and just take the head clean off.
Roll an attack with advantage.
Just on.
25.
I ran past
25?
him, gave you it
Easy enough as you just kind of like line it up with one, and you make sure to take it off with exactly a single strike. And the head just kind of like, and it's this weird kind of splatter sound. The bones itself almost seeming like they're far weaker than they would be in a place like this. The head's almost kind of rubbery in texture, kind of like bounces and deforms itself as it rolls against the metal floor.
Well, this one's been here quite a while. I'd assume everything else here is still walking around.
So, how do we can't just touch the crystal, correct?
I wouldn't
That's-
suggest it.
I can dispel magic to a certain extent. I'm not certain how we purify this to take it back with us. I can imagine this would be valuable to the boat, city.
I'm gonna, like, rub thoughtfully at what's exposed to my chin behind the mask and cowl. I have an idea for something. Never tried to purify one of these crystals myself. Hasn't been in my job before. But I am a disciple of sorts. Perhaps I can
Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I just pick it up with my mage hand and get him to do the work for us.
Who's he?
It's a magical instrument of mine. I don't like to get my hands dirty. I don't like dirt under my nails.
What about all the vomit on the front of your vest?
I'll just instantly prestidigitation. What do you mean?
So,
Out of character, your word prestidigitation lasts an hour, right? Okay, just checking.
Every hour on the dot, I'm gonna.
Just your entire outfit. Oh god. That's like 10 seconds of the day when you just smell like a dumpster fire.
so I would like to attempt ritual casting ceremony,
Okay.
and
Oh, you want to take 10 minutes to do it, or?
yeah, I'm gonna take 10 minutes to do it, and I'm going to like get the others to help me a bit. I've got like incense in my bag of holding. I'm gonna see if I can purify this even just a little bit, you know?
Okay. Are you guys staying here for the 10 minutes, or fizzle, Seardale? I swear I'm trying, I promise.
I spelt it phonetically for you, and you still can't do it.
Let me write it down phonetically one more time. I'll bug you after this. We'll do better next time, alright? We'll do better next time. It's a goal.
I'll stay. Actually, I want to do something in a minute once you check with everyone.
Okay.
I'm gonna put everybody to work if you're here.
Fizzle, is there anything you would like to do during this?
Well, what do you need me to do?
I mostly just want help, because I'm hoping the more people that get involved in the ceremony to cleanse this, the better it'll work. At least that's my goal, my hope.
All right, just let me know what you want me to do, and I'll try.
Okay.
I'll say the casting goes a little faster with everyone helping, but what did you want to do, Master Bard?
Cyril is going to just kind of like look over himself in disgust and look at the vomit and everything, and he's going to reach down on the inside of his trench coat, and he's going to rip off a patch and just cast it into existence, and it's going to be an exact copy of his current set of clothes, just without the vomit. And he's just going to start getting naked and undressing. And he's just going to start changing over. And when he's done, he's going to light the old clothes on fire.
I am embarrassed for you.
Yeah, Dovin's also there, and as you like start taking off your clothes, he's like, "Oh, I'll go watch the door. This isn't my kind of party."
One can never be too prepared.
Highly improper.
But now I am clean. I am pure again.
I have seen your bits now.
And that makes us closer as friends. You're welcome.
I would say worse friends, bordering on enemies after seeing that.
Well, that's just rude of you. I was kind enough to expose myself to you.
Exactly! You exposed yourself to me when I did not wish to see that.
If you were doing your job and not staring at and ogling my bits, we wouldn't be in this situation.
They are hanging.
Didn't do your job.
It's the heat. It's not my fault.
They're self-oiling. It's very warm in here.
The self-lubricating chassis.
Fucking bards.
Alright. So, is there anything else you do after your little striptease, or?
I'm just gonna set fire to my clothes, and then my old clothes, and then see if I can lend a hand somewhere.
Alright. So, the ritual goes off a little bit faster with a couple of extra hands. And there's a faint little glow that can, like, travels up this construct. And it reaches the orb, and it lightens a little bit. And there's, like, this little flicker of darkness, and you watch as, like, it, just as closely as it lightens out, it, like, gets back to that same shade. And you swear, like, it's almost like the room almost smells even worse as this kind of, like, draws in the last little bit of, like, gentle repose or whatever spells are helping to preserve this place. It's going to need a bit more work than a single ritual cast cantrip or level 1 spell. But it was a good attempt, and it had a little bit of an effect.
Well, clearly I am not devout enough.
Well, is this all we're here for, or are we scavenging what else we can?
We're scavenging for other things. This
Then
was me confirming the theory that we're going to be fighting a lot of undead in the area.
Well then, I will come back for this, and I will pick up with my mage hand later. But I suppose I'll...
I'm not sure if your mage hand would be strong enough to lift it, though.
It's
Not a
a
character?
decently small stone. You can hold up to 5 pounds, so it's probably exactly that.
You can
So
hold 20 pounds with mage hand.
Oh, well then, yeah, you'll probably be able to move it easily then.
But I suppose we'll clear room to room. I'll give you moral support. Are you still feeling inspired?
Inspired enough.
I'm feeling violated.
It's just like if I tell her to sit, she'll sit like her way down.
Once again, if you wouldn't ogle my bits, we wouldn't be here. And I'll do like a little hair flip.
Maybe we would be here if you didn't put your bits on display for everyone like a common floozy.
I'm not common. Let us continue our job.
You have exposed forearms and upper arms. You're floozy.
Couldn't see your sign because you're literally under.
I never denied it. I just said I'm not common. Now let us please continue
Alright,
on.
then cheap.
How dare you?
You just hear Dovin kind of clear his throat and he's like, "Ladies, And
Right you are, Master.
he steps to like the side of the door to like make way for you guys if you want to get out.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Okay,
So,
let's go start rummaging around this place.
are we taking the entire carcass back with us? Are we looking for something specific? Panels, wiring? What are we looking for?
Well, I'd probably start with the hold, see if they got everything packed and ready to go. Worst comes to
Ooh.
worst, taking the crew helps. I mean, biomass is biomass, even if it's old.
Mhm.
Panels,
Professor
wires,
Tiba.
electric. If you see something that looks good and useful, odds are we'll find a way to make it useful.
Well, then let's do a check of the whole ship and make sure if there is any more of the crew that are put down properly before we start ripping everything apart.
Did I sense any poisons though so far? Because I would have lost the 10 minutes, but like when we were walking through, did I sense any poisons?
Not
or
yet.
diseases?
The only thing you got was the scorpion that was outside, off to one of the sides. But once you've been inside, you haven't been close enough to detect anything else.
Okay. So, probably safe for the diseases.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So there's the hallway you're in, which is lined with doors, and then there's also the staircase that looks like it goes up towards the upper deck.
Like, what's his shit said, we're gonna go looking in the hall. Check the storage areas.
All right. So, do you want to go? Where do you think that is?
I don't know, can I roll survival?
Sure.
Darwin, whereabouts would we find the hold, do you think? Bottom of the ship?
Depends on the captain where he put it. I mean, the only one that's really a set place is the purity stones, which is usually lower down and easy to get to when you get in. Bit of a common courtesy for other scavengers, but as for the hold, Captain fucking could have slept with all of it and it's in his room. Who knows?
Do I have advantage to roll this, or just flat?
It would be flat. As you said, it's not exactly an exact science where the Freeman might decide to keep their goods.
18.
18. Looking around here, you would assume it's probably closer to the upper deck, because this just seems to be like crew quarters. And you imagine that probably each room probably was someone else's bedroom here, as it was a small craft. So,
Upstairs we go.
alright.
After you. And I'll give a little bow and quite free to
I'm
pass.
going to lead the way. Even if I have to take the halfling off the ladder to do it.
Just tickle the halfling until he pees.
Alright, so you open this door, and this one as well, it's quite dark inside, but you still have your scimitar lit, right? How long does that last?
I believe it's just the light spell, so I don't know.
Yeah, it lasts until you decide to turn it off.
Okay, so it's just a light now.
Does anyone else have dark vision or anything like that? 60 feet, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Light casts an hour, or if it's the spell, it lasts an hour.
And halflings?
Just to be sure, I'm putting on my goggles of night.
Nice, okay, so you slide these things down. It's a bit more well lit, but you come up into this. You open this door and it kind of like swings open, and this part it seems like it's kind of been bent into a dune, so the rooms almost kind of like right themselves back, and now it's just on a very slight kind of like 20 or 30 degree slant off from like what you would consider the right way up or down as the thing has bent.
So just enough to make us uncomfortable.
Yeah, just enough to be a little like that's not straight. Yeah?
As we're going, I'm going to be using my Imagine board, and I'm going to be mapping out what we touch, and like the layout of the ship as we see it.
So you're kind of like drawing a little map as you go?
Yep.
Alright, well, you get up here and you start to draw this, but the first thing you see is it's just kind of like a message that's been like written on one of the far walls. and it just says, "If it's my tomb, it's my goods. Good luck." And that's just sprawled onto like one of the walls at like the back.
I
Um,
don't think that's how it works.
I mean, I suppose it's his right to think so. We're still going to pilfer him dirty.
Well, yeah.
In the rest of this, there seems to be. Actually, can I get perception checks from everyone? And then I can better
No.
describe this.
Depends on what I roll. Yeah.
If you don't have dark vision, please roll with disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
27.
Wait, no, I have my sword lit up.
Yeah, but it only sheds it for so long, right? So you can only see so far past it. You know, if you
I got a
do an
27.
investigation, it'll be fine. But a perception of looking around, you know, still is what it is. You got 27,
Yeah.
That's a dirty 20.
dirty 20, and Fizzle
14.
14. Okay. Within this structure, so like I said, you come up onto the staircase. Across from here, you see like this message that's been scribed in as like it's been kind of like carved in with a dagger, just scratched in very, very crudely. There seems to be 4 doors on either side, and then like a very small little staircase that goes about 10 into what seems to be an office above. It looks like it looks into this room, and then you also see like a few like little glints of sunlight that just kind of like cascade into that room, but not enough to reach into the level of this room. So the 4 doorways are a little in shadow, and it's just kind of like that beacon of light above. Which way would you guys like to go? Or if you want, this could be a good place to end, being as it is getting close to 10. And I could probably drop a map for you guys for next session.
Yep.
A bit more prepared for you. Up my
I'm okay with
production
it.
value.
I'd be okay to stop here.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, and then start out rummaging through this decrepit building next time.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I will do my due diligence this time. I'll make something nice. I don't think we're playing next week, so it'll be the week after that if you guys are available for that.
I am.
But we will
Yep.
figure that out as the weeks go. For everyone else that's watching, thank you for joining us for this first episode, and hopefully I will see you guys next time. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.